Mic is still having issues, so I'm back to this. Back to this is my microphone. Don't I just look so suave? New Freddie Gibbs album, Sold Separately. This is his first effort since his 2020 release, Alfredo, yummy Alfredo. Freddie Gibbs is definitely one of the more consistent hip hop artists running around at the moment. His flows, flawless. His energy, awesome. Always got that energy, right? And lyrically, he is also incredibly talented. And I think that continues onto this record here, Sold Separately. Thematically, this album seems to follow Freddie Gibbs as like maybe an owner of like a very fancy-pantsy hotel, and we get all these like kind of voicemail messages that sort of segue us into each track. I suppose it adds a lot of cohesion to the flow of the record, and the songs run into each other in quite a seamless way too. The opener, Couldn't Be Done, soaring, elegant, soulful track, totally opens up the album with fireworks. We get a feature from Kelly Price, which just adds to the glamour. Some sleek trap rhythms, go super hard, elevate the track. And lyrically, this song is kind of a triumph anthem. I guess if you couldn't tell that from the title, you're not paying attention. Blackest in the Room makes use of some 70s style soul samples. It's quite still, it's kind of murky to begin with. A beat switch into some sparse but groovy drums and bass. Also some subtly looping kind of keys. The chimey loops on the song Too Much are absolutely hypnotizing. So is the hook on this thing. Awesome earworm. Freddie absolutely kills the flow on this one. It's short, sharp, sweet.
Nice.
Lobster Omelette makes use of a glistening soul flip. Such clarity in the performance from Freddie on this one. A spacey change-up makes way for a solid Ross feature. Classy strings kind of tie the track up. Again, very elegant, very soulful, very elevated. Rabbit Vision sees us get some punchy drums, surreal enveloping keys, and wailing guitar licks. And lyrically on this track, Freddie Gibbs sounds kind of hungry. Desperate. Freddie Gibbs says in a little refrain on this track, a lot of shit, it broke my heart, but it fixed my vision, which I suppose you could take from that the things that he experienced in the streets has kind of wizened him up a little bit and given him a bit of like a bit of a more mature perspective. Feel No Pain features a pretty low-key Anderson .Paak chorus. Sharp beat on this one with some angular bass lines, more sparse, kind of steady beats. Open, serene synths and keys. I've got noted down here, Raekwon murders verse. That's true, I agree. Yeah, features on this thing are pretty insane. We also get a Scarface feature on a bonus track on this thing, the final track, Decoded. The song Dark Hearted, really slick beat, comprises some rather hollow and kind of cavernous ambiance. Freddie laments on those around him who he, I suppose, is a little bit paranoid about. Maybe he can't adequately trust them. Ghostly melodies crying out like a freaking spectre. Some gentle piano and harp runs kind of finish things off. This song is just incredibly passionate. Gold Rings features an amazing Pusha T verse. The title on this track is based off an interpolation from a Biggie track, pretty iconic Biggie track, Me and My Bitch. This track features some really sticky, ascending kind of harp runs, eerie ringing keys and synths. Yeah, like I said, Pusha T's verse, amazing. One-liners out the wazoo. God, this record finishes so strongly. Grandma's Stove, crispy boom bap beat, blissful ambience. This is kind of like a bit of a trauma dump, I guess, from Freddie Gibbs. Not to minimize what he's talking about, but yeah, no, it's there's some pretty painful themes explored here. But it's also kind of a tribute cut. He's paying respects to those around him who have helped him and inspired him. It's beautiful. The track is so simple and yet it doesn't get tired. CIA features a kind of drony, very dreamy saxophone loop that kind of comes in and out during the verses mainly, I think. Solid backbeat, it's soulful, it's got this neck snap kind of groove. The chorus does feature a little bit of a diss towards the CIA. Gave us crack, Instagram, and AIDS, which is an interesting point, because there has been some evidence to suggest foul play. And also, I will agree that Instagram fucking sucks. You get some flanged keys kind of padding out the background, making the instrumental just a little bit more watery and kind of submersive. In terms of songs I wasn't too crazy about, the song Pain and Strife with Offset is just the typical poppy kind of trap rap radio hit for me personally. I mean, it's fine, but you know, the Offset feature is pretty standard. Beat features some distant vocal samples and simple piano progression. The hook is pretty uninspired and is just kind of elongated unnecessarily. It's just very typical. Zipper Bags, I just kind of think there should have been more to this track than there was. Makes use of some interesting pitch down vocals and droney keys. Freddie's performance on the track makes it a whole lot less forgettable. His very forceful delivery on the refrain is quite nice. It's very percussive. But yeah, like I said, the brevity kind of works against it. It's kind of plain. All in all though, I enjoyed this album. I did. It's a solid record. Freddie really does just continue to bring his A game and kind of makes use of his, I suppose, his newfound reach within the industry, considering Alfredo was considered for a Grammy. He's using that sort of newfound status to bring along some pretty awesome and I would say quite varied features. Scarface being one of them. Offset, I mean, like, as much as I didn't care for that track, that is a pretty big feature to pull. Kelly Price, Anderson .Paak. Did I mention Pusha T? I don't think I did. Ricky Ross. I said Scarface, didn't I? I'm hopeless. Yeah, I just hope Freddie can continue to be consistent and as upfront lyrically as he always is. The narratives he paints on this particular record are as fascinating as they always are. Freddie's got a lot going for him, and he's building up a lot of momentum now, and he is definitely using that to his advantage here. Nice effort, dude. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. What did you guys think of this record? Did you love it? Were you not as big of a fan? Have you even heard of Freddie Gibbs before you watched this video? Let me know down in the comments section below. Hit the like if you want to as well. I mean, I can use all the likes that I can get because it's really hard in this digital age to get anyone to even look at you. Also subscribe, because if you don't, I will hunt you down and I will murder your entire family, and I will do it with a smile on my face. Murder your dog. I'll murder your pet budgerigars. But all you have to do to avoid that is subscribe to this channel. That's all you have to do. Tell me what I should review next, babies. You know, one of these days I will figure out how to end a video, but until then, this is all you get.